Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back with Game 3 in this Best of 3 series for the RedditHoN QQ Ninja Amateur Open Tournament Extravaganza. So far, obviously, it is tied up at 1-1 because we are in the final game. We saw ELMO take the last game with a really aggressive pushing strategy. They were really int heavy. They got the farm on the int heroes that they needed, and they were really able to push it home to victory. We saw the team TIRL, which is tanks in real life. They were able to... They went with a Flint strategy, Flint Beastwood strategy, that really didn't pay off in the end. They weren't able to get the effective farm on him, and they had a Magnus that really didn't do so well. We are seeing some really interesting picks this game. The bans are pretty standard. You can see those in the middle. I'm not even going to bother going over them. They're all really standard. We haven't seen many reactionary bans except for Pharaoh was banned after the first game. But let's go over the heroes real quick. On the Legion team, we have Myrmidon, a super strong hero that we haven't seen yet. Really glad to see him. Malakin, who absolutely thrashed the first game for Team Tanks. It'll be really great to see it again if they can repeat the same success they had. Bubbles, really great hero. Witchslayer and Pebbles. Pebbles, a really great pick. We haven't seen him quite yet. I'll be interested to see. I'm assuming he's going to be soloing mid. That'll be really fun to see. On the Hellboard team, we have Torturer, who has won every game he's been in so far. We saw the 1-1. Both teams had Torturer that game. A super great hero. He scales effectively. He has a couple different builds he can go. We'll see what build he goes with this game. Puppet Master, Magnus, Valkyrie, and they have right-clicked a Vindicator. That would be a really interesting pickup. They might want it to, kind of works well against Myrmidon and Bubbles and Pebbles. I guess pretty much their entire team. Even Malakin can't do that really great sword throw into ultimate combination if the Vindicator is hanging around. Problem is, does Vindicator lane effectively in this kind of metagame? They kind of have to put him as a solo, I think. And so they'll probably run a Puppet Master, Magnus, Torturer, Tri-Lane, Valkyrie solo, and then they do pick up the Vindicator, who will probably solo. I imagine he will be soloing mid against that Pebbles. So it'll be interesting to see if the Pebbles has experience soloing against a Vindicator, because it's something you can definitely do, but you kind of need the experience to know exactly how to play against him in that situation. So it'll be really great to see that. I expect to see a Malakin, Witchslayer, Myrmidon tri-lane for the Legion team. I'm kind of hoping that the tri-lanes actually clash together. That should be a lot of really great action. I expect to see that on bot, and we'll have to see if that's the way the teams go. The game's about to start. We'll get into it. We'll see what kind of item pickups they have and which lanes they choose to go with.
Let's roll the dice.
Alright, and we are in the game, and we start off with a pause right off the bat by Team ELMO. That's alright, gives us time to check out the items. We actually do have a disconnect on Puppet Master, that is why. So yeah, this will definitely be an exciting game. The Malakin pickup, I'm definitely excited to see if they can play him effectively like they did in the first game. Or will Vindicator be the piece that the Hellboard team didn't have during that first game that can kind of counter him? Because we did see the initiation was super important on him. The sword throw into the ultimate is really what lets him get a lot of damage off early in the team fight, lets him get a lot of heroes down really low, and then they can easily be picked off by, Pebbles and Witchslayer and Bubbles, and they have a lot of damage that can come out to follow that up. But will they be able to get the initiation? We'll have to see. I think if this game does go into late game or mid-late game, ganks on Vindicator are going to be huge, because if Vindicator is dead, this Legion team is going to push so aggressively, really take advantage of the fact that he is not around. We do see Puppet Master reconnecting. We do see him reconnecting right here, and we'll have to see what builds they go. A lot of really interesting decisions. Do 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 do. I will be interested to see what this Pebble goes as far as build. Traditionally, the build is Runes Blight and 2 Minor Totems. It lets you combo at level 3, and lets you save enough money to get a bottle as early as you can. The Runes of Blight are just kind of for emergency purposes, so that you don't just get fucked up while you're trying to farm. So, it'll definitely be interesting to see if he goes that build, or if it feels like he needs a mana battery or something to go against Vindicator specifically. And the game is back on. It's really great to see. He does choose to go with a Iron Buckler, Runes of Blight, a health pot, and a couple mana pots. Wow, he's definitely using all his gold. I don't know how I feel about this. He only has one minor totem. He's not going to be able to combo at level 3. He's not going to be able to get a super early bottle. That's not the item set that I would go with if I were playing this Pebbles. These little things a lot of people don't pay attention to, like initial item buys, are actually really, really important when you start playing organized games like this. And little small differences can definitely kind of cascade away. We do see Bubbles going for an early ring of the teacher. He's got that Guardian ring, so he can just finish it in the side shop. A couple sets of Rune of Blight, and lots of minor totems. Minor totems are fantastic. They're really cheap, great stat games. We do see a standard build on Malakin. I'm not necessarily sure he needs that mana pop, but it would be nice to have for extra sword throws. And we do see Witch Slayer with lots of stats items, and Myrmidon with wards and regeneration. We do see Flying Courier right off the bat. For Legion team, the Hellboard team still needs to get theirs. Hopefully they will get that quite early, especially if any of these people are going to be needing a bottle. Valkyrie going for lots of regen as well as the stats. I don't necessarily think you need the mana pot on Valkyrie as well. I don't necessarily think you need 2 sets of Runes of Blight, but she definitely wants to have that available to her. It's much easier just to ferry those if you need additional later. And we do see Vindicator going the traditional kind of int carry, regen, lots of stats build. We do see the tri-lane right here. They are positioned quite aggressively. This is be really good. They're probably going to be blocking the creep spawn. They want to look to see where they ward, as the Legion team has already put down their ward, but they're definitely going to be making sure they block the creep spawn so they can't do these creep stacks and pulls. And then they'll get to lane. I fully expect them to put the ward here when they are ready to ward for the rune. It gives them a lot of jungle vision as well as sight of the ward itself. So we are off, and it is interesting to see how this Malkin will be able to farm. They definitely picked an aggressive tri-lane to go against him. They might be able to get a kill on him at some point quite early if they're able to chain the CC effectively. You do see Puppet Master going for Puppeteer's hold. Puppet Show early this game. Last game he did choose to go the Puppeteer's hold first instead. Mid, we're seeing Pebbles take a ton of damage already. He did already use his mana. I imagine he probably stunned to kill creeps or some such. Again, a little bit questionable. He only has 130 gold, and now he has no mana and half HP. So it's going to be a very difficult lane for him. That's really why you want to focus on getting that extra gold. So you can buy that bottle without really needing a ton of creep farm. You really just want to focus on getting those levels. And he might be kind of pushed out of this lane by this Vindicator if he plays really aggressively, which Vindicator is. You see the positioning? He's kind of blocking off the creeps from this Pebbles. He doesn't have enough mana to stun. He doesn't have enough mana to chuck. And so Vindicator's just going to sit here and just absolutely annihilate him. And you go back right from the start. Item choices, not that great. Not that great. Up top, we do have the Valkyrie going against the Bubbles. I expect this to be a fairly even game. Their base damages are almost exactly the same. Valkyrie has a slightly higher range. Let's see, with his creep score, we have 4 and 2 for Bubbles and 2 and 3 for Valkyrie. So Bubbles has a little bit of an advantage. Does a take cover on the call of the Valkyrie is a really great play by the Bubbles, forcing Valkyrie to use a health pot without taking much damage himself. That's really great. The tri-lane is looking like it's going pretty good for both teams. Malkin's only at 3 and 1 creep score, and the Puppet Master's at 3 and 4. So a little bit of advantage for the Hellborn team so far. But once Malkin starts getting some more points in the Flaming Sword of Death, he'll be able to last it more effectively. I like that Malkin felt like he didn't need a hatchet. He doesn't, especially with his abilities when he starts leveling up. It becomes much easier to last hit, and hatchet just kind of be wasted gold. He needs that regen, he needs those stats and that Iron Buckler and all that fun stuff. So we do see Pebbles here still not farming at all. He's out of health regen at this point. He doesn't have much gold. He really doesn't want to spend more money on consumables at this point. Not using his health pot or his mana pot because he knows he's not going to get enough mana. And Vindicator is playing really aggressively. He could actually play more aggressively at this point. Vindicator should be standing here, completely zoning out the Pebbles from even getting experience. There's nothing to be afraid of at this point from these Pebbles. What is he going to do, walk up and auto-attack you? We do see quite a bit of damage on this Malkin. He's in a really bad spot right now, and he is going to go down. Wow. Kind of sloppy play by that Malkin. Magnus was coming around to get a stun if they didn't get it right there. Will they be able to get another kill here on this Witch Slayer? Magnus still doesn't have enough to stun, so it doesn't look like it's going to happen. But really great play by the Hellborn team. They took advantage of that bad positioning by Malkin. He was staying in there too long with too low health. You can't do that when you're going against a tri-lane. That's really effectively and deadly like this one. They did choose to put the ward right here just like we predicted. They got really great side of the ward, and they did counter ward it as well. I believe this counter ward should reach over here, which is the other most common spot. But just to be safe, I would probably put it a little bit over more this way. We do see Pebbles walking back to base, you know, and buying a homecoming stone. Really, really painful. I don't think that this Pebbles is going to be a force in the early mid-game. He is going to the bottom lane. I like that quite a bit. The only problem is that they're going to be able to see him if he walks up this way. They're going to be able to see him walking through the jungle. He is going to walk right through the ward. He might actually get picked off by this Hellmore team if they choose to go on him. They are going to back off. Double damage is on Magnus, but he actually jukes back for not any apparent reason. Really, really sloppy play by that Magnus. No, probably a misclick, or he thought, you know, they could take them, but they actually, Pebbles got exactly what he came for, and there's absolutely no reason for him to actually get it. He was seen by the ward, and they should have been able to get out of there pretty easily. He's going to get a double damage rune as well, which is going to help him in mid. Hopefully he'll get back before too many creeps get killed by the tower. It does look like it's going to be just that one, and he will be able to get back in time to pick up some effective farm again. Vindicator is level 6. He's 2 levels above Pebbles, and Pebbles does, now that he's level 4, he will have enough to combo. We'll be able to see if he hits one right here. Please stun, please stun, please stun, please stun. Oh, please stun. Pebbles, please stun. Babe, please. Oh, there you go. And he will be able to get the kill on... Oh, no! Vindicator pops a health bot. He will be able to get away. This is horrible for the Pebbles. Oh, man. I don't... that aura from Vindicator just stopping the combo from being fully effective. Pretty brutal stuff. Pretty brutal stuff. I would have liked to see... I don't actually remember exactly what the range was, but if he would have been able to chuck Vindicator over here, back to the creeps, that would have given him a lot more effective angle to try and block off the Vindicator from just walking away and getting the health pot out. A lot of action down here. Magnus is probably going to drop. He might be able to actually get away. Really great. I do have an NVIDIA crash right now. I love this client so much, so very much. And so I have no idea what's happening. And hopefully it will come back here. No, I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to come back. Let me try just restarting real quick. We'll be right back. I am back. It does look like the teams were so gracious as to pause for me, which is wonderful. So we're back in the action. I believe Magnus probably got away during that time. We did have quite an intense fight. So intense that it crashed my video driver. RedditHoN does counter this ward. That's really important. Cuts off a lot of their vision, especially if they want to have this Pebbles moving around. And Pebbles does manage to have his bottle finally. But, you know, at this point he really wants to be working towards, you know, boots or striders or whatever boots he wants. And eventually working towards that portal key. Vindicator just being absolutely brutal, spamming away. You know, he's got, he's going Sage's Lore or Stats, which, you know, is an interesting build. I think he probably should have just kept going ahead and leveling Glyph of Silence, but I guess he wants a little bit more HP to try and survive that weakened combo. We do see possible action coming down here. And it looks like Malkin does miss the sword throw, so they should probably back out at this point, and it looks like they will. Oh, they did have bubbles here as well, and he should be able to take the cover, take the shell and ults. No, he's just going to back out. He's just going to back out and scare them. This does mean that Valkyrie has an easy arrow to hit on Pebbles. If he goes in here for a creep kill, he'll know to arrow right here. It should be a pretty sure hit, unless he manages to see it. Valkyrie honestly could probably just leap and call a Valkyrie. Does miss the arrow. See, if he had mid-leveling Call of the Valkyrie, he would have been able to just leap, call the Valkyrie, and kill him instantly. I'm not quite sure why he wanted to go that arrow. You know, it's not good for farming. It's not good for. It's a weird build. Let's just say that. I could see it in games where you're ganking a ton, but you know, where he's soloing a lane right now and he's just kind of farming, he doesn't necessarily need it. We do have an invisible bubbles right here. This could be quite dangerous. He does get the ult off. RedditHoN missing, but he will be able to get a carp on this Puppet Master. Puppet Master should be going down, and he does. It's a really great kill, really important. Magnus stunning back in. Oh, he's a fighter, huh? He does get picked off for it, though. I'm not sure there was any reason to do that. No reason to give Malkin an extra free kill this early in the game. You're going to see Malkin go right for his Steam Boots, right for the Whispering Helm, and then when he gets a Shrunken Head, he's going to be an incredible force in the team fights in those mid-game skirmishes. So we'll definitely be looking forward to that. What is his gold per minute at? Hey, let's put this back up after it crashes. He is at about 200 gold per minute, which isn't the best, but it's certainly not that bad for what was a fairly hard tri-lane to be in. We do see lots of stuns going on him. He does sword throw into the team instead of away. He should have definitely just sword throwed over here and gotten away. He chose to go for some extra healing and damage by going on them, but you know, sometimes you have to just go ahead and leave. Just run away. Just run away. We do see Bubbles continuing to move around quite a bit, coming here to try and get a gang on this Vindicator. Does Bubbles have his ult up yet? No, it's not up for another 20 seconds, and Pebbles has